All right, so we're now gonna go to this really good coffee place. It's actually one of Damascus's oldest coffee shops. This is the other side of the Maltese Bazaar, Malta Çarşı. So it's a really good place.
Oh, where is it?
Their coffee is well, it's up ahead. You know, you'll know where it is like once we start like getting the smell wafting through the air.
I smell stuff over here, huh?
Well, there's they're cutting pieces of aluminium there. It's beautiful, isn't it? It is, but it needs to be restored. Come on.
I like it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, right?
Different, for sure.
Let's see where it is.
Oh, there's a butcher.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, they've set up a butcher over there. They make what's called manaish. I don't know if you've ever had manaish. It's actually a very good.
Oh, bread.
Yeah, it's like a pita bread. Let's go. So here we are. This is it. Bons and Merit. See, 1950
Wow.
Damascus. Let's go in. Marhaba. Hi. 2 Burak. 2 قهوة عربي. ايوه 2. So we're gonna have 2 Arabic coffees.
All right.
Let's see. I hope you like it.
I think I like. Oh,
Yeah, you'll
the
like
smell.
it. You'll like it.
Welcome, my friends.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum. I love the smell, man.
It's a beautiful smell, right? Do you smell it? Like how strong it is? Look at it. Look at it here. Smell the cardamom?
Yeah.
So strong.
I'm Rami.
Rami, pleasure. Omar,
Nice
Burak.
to meet
Shukran, Habib.
Şükran.
Shukran.
Şükran.
All right, thank you.
Teşekkürler abi. Size teşekkür ederiz abi.
So this coffee is incredible. They make it with cardamom, and it's actually got a very high level of cardamom. Almost like a quarter of it is cardamom powder, which they mix with the coffee. They usually use ground Ethiopian coffee, grounded beans, coffee beans that are grounded together and minced together. This is Zain.
Zain.
Their kunafa is incredible. It's very popular, and I actually want to show you how it's made. So, think of it like, the Turkish kadayif combination. This is more of the Arabic style of kunafa. They call it kanafa, whereas in Turkish it's kunife.
Wow. It's like a factory. Look at that, man.
Absolutely.
It's like.
Absolutely. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. So now we're gonna have a look at Fatih Mosque,
Okay.
and I'm gonna show you some interesting parts about it, things that a lot of people don't really know. As you can see there on that side, you have all the school areas, the seminary areas. where they used to give courses.
Let me take a few shots.
Sure, why not? So this is the, right over here, you can see the fire pool. And look, come along. Can you see the top? It's covered. So the fire pool is actually built, you know, for fires. They'd fill it up with water. So, you know, you have the case in South Africa, you know, Jacob Zuma. You know, he had a private pool built by the government, and he said it's for fires, it's a fire pool. It's not one of those private pools. It's actually a real fire pool that was built in the 19th century, way later after the mosque was built, because there were a lot of fires that would take place in the vicinity, and they needed to have a fire pool that could serve both the mosque and the housing structures around the area. So they built this fire pool, and it's still full of water till today.
Really?
Yep, but as you can see, it's covered, the top, but you can see the water dripping on the
Like,
side.
where does the water come from?
It's probably a
It should be
irrigation
it should be a
system.
running water.
Well,
I mean,
there
otherwise
are
it will-
aqueducts nearby that it was probably connected to back in the day. That was the structure that they had. But presently it's, you know, water, you know, piping underneath, because they do have an intricate piping system. So this is actually the shuddervan in the center, and you know, that's where they do their ablution. One of the main reasons why they have a shuddervan structure is because a shuddervan actually allows oxygen to go into the mosque, because you know the actual water creates an oxygenation of the environment. If you notice, this mosque's minarets has two muezzin layers. You know, many mosques have one layer, you know, one step set. This one, Fatih Mosque, being a ceremonial mosque known as a Selatin Jami in Turkish, has two layers. So
Why is there a ceremonial mosque? What does that mean?
well, it's made by a sultan in the name of a sultan and, you know, their family. It's a representation per se. And what's very interesting about this mosque is, as you can see the columns, look at the color. It's like a browny gray. This rock here, the stone actually, is a porphyr sort of rock. Porphyr is a special type of rock that was used by the Romans. The ancient Egyptians also used it. Like during the period of Ptolemy, they had porphyr rocks. Roman emperors would have, let's say, like the empresses would give birth basically in rooms with porphyr rock. Porphyr rocks are signs of prosperity, and that's why the Romans gave such importance to it, and it was used in imperial household structures. And here it's used as a sign of prosperity and of power. So that's why we have the porphyr rock here. So this is the sun dial, and as you know, the Sumerians were the first, civilization that actually came up with the sundial, this, setting the time using the sun, and that also happened in these lands, in this area in Anatolia, basically, and the Ottomans perfected what they call the prayer time sundial, and you can see it's very detailed. Over there on the right hand side is the first, second, third, fourth, like the different prayer times, the noon ones. And according to which time the dial comes on, it tells you how long is left until the prayer time that's going to happen, whether it's the noon or the afternoon. And according to summer, winter, or spring, there are different parts of it that define. Yeah. But it's beautiful, the architecture is incredible.
So who's the architect?
The architect of this mosque is Atik Sinan, not to be confused with Mimar Sinan, who was known as the architect Sinan. Atik Sinan, Atik means the old Sinan, and he basically was one of the first architects. So after, Sultan Fatih conquered Istanbul, this was the first mosque. Yeah, this is actually the first mosque that he commissioned, to have constructed, and it's actually a mosque that is very detailed when you look at it from the outside, and it's grand. He actually punished Atik Sinan because of this mosque.
Why?
He didn't find it to be grand enough. And they actually did have a court case regarding it. So he did get a reprimand from the judge, known as a qadi at the time. And finally, some of his generals persuaded Atik Sinan to forgive him. But he actually had him punished, his architect.
How did they punish him?
They cut off his arm.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's
horrific.
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, but if you look at it with the context of the time, that was actually something light. During that period in Central Europe, in the Middle Ages, especially, prior to that, they would just execute people.
So it was a small punishment.
Relatively speaking,
it's
if you do anachronism and you look at it from today's perspective, yes, it's very harsh, but during that period, it was something very normal, even considered to be light. So he actually didn't like the size of this mosque. So this mosque has that sort of history to it.
It's like a small tap on wrist.
Absolutely.
Compared to
maybe not that small of a tap, but you might also notice there's a bunch of beggars here. And Sultan Fatih had a very interesting experience with a beggar.
Really?
So so this beggar goes to him and he's like, give me money, after one of the prayer services. The Sultan has his own entrance. It's on the other side. In the second floor inside, there's the Sultan's area. Yeah, he even had his own entrance. It's like a sloped walkway. And in this part of the mosque, the beggar had come up to him when he was going in one day and said, give me something. And he's like, what am I going to give you? He's like, give me something. So he gives him a gold coin. And he doesn't like it. And he says, you're the Sultan. Do you only give me a gold coin? And he's like, yes, I'm going to give you a gold coin and nothing else. So he gives him a gold coin. And he's like, look, I'm your brother. He's like, how are you my brother? We're not from the same mother. We're not from the same father. He's like, look, we're the children of Adam. And then the Sultan laughs. And he's like, so is that why you think I gave you that gold coin? He's like, of course, because we're brothers. He's like, don't tell the secrets to everyone else around you. All right, come on. Let me show you the two. Let's pass really fast. So this is the tomb of Fatih Sultan Mehmet. You can see the intricacy at the top of the tomb. You know, it's very delicate. There's a lot of intricacy. And you know, it's very imperial. You know, when you look at it, there's a very imperial nature to it. You can see there's like a lot of roses in there.
It's a nice view.
Yeah, see all the roses? All those roses show you, you know, his love of roses. So he really liked roses a lot. This is the Sultan's imperial walkway. You see, he would enter from there, the other side of the gate. He'd go to the second floor and pray over there.
Walkway.
Come, let me show you the gate. Let me show you his gate.
Nice
So
walkway.
yeah, this is his gate, and this is where the beggar had come across him, asking for that gold coin. So he would walk in from here. You see that beautiful, like the murals, the design. It's just incredible.
It is.
The entrance walkway, and you know, at the entrance to a lot of imperial places, you would have a lot of red used with gold lining on it. So he'd walk up from here. I mean, it's closed now, but you know, as you can see the stair, you can see the stairs going up. They've shut it, but
Interesting walkway.
absolutely.
Did you ever go inside?
No, they don't allow anyone.
I didn't know this.
Yep. It's a special walkway. Well, that's the whole point of, you know, showing you around. It's to show you the nooks and crannies of Istanbul.
Yeah,
where,
I've
where
been living in
people don't
Istanbul.
really
I didn't
know.
even know this.
Yep.
I thought he was an egalitarian guy. Like,
Come on, we're talking about an imperial culture. It wasn't, you know, rhetorically, it might have been egalitarian, but when it came to, you know, even, I mean, worship was separate. I mean, you can see very well. Well, you know, there is a saying of the Prophet Muhammad about the conquest of Istanbul and how it's going to be conquered by an emir, as he calls it. That emir will be such a great emir, and that army will be such a great army. So that is over. So we do have that sort of religious background to Fatih. You know, he has that background, and that legitimacy comes from there. And that's how the Ottomans have established their legitimacy over the centuries. So it is actually a very powerful statement, and that has been the backbone of it. So, you know, no matter how, you know, let's say non-egalitarian you might call it, they may have been, that legitimacy provided. See, you can see the curtains over there. Those are the old curtains still used in that manner. That's actually the waiting area. That's not a prayer area. Those are his waiting area. You know, his divan is over there. The prayer area is inside the mosque. So we're now on the other side of it. And this is a side that isn't really used that frequently. But you can see the magnanimity of it. Well, the city's beating hub, if we were to call it the heart of it, is on the other side. And that's why you have
the other side is the entrance to the mosque.
Well, yes, but this entrance is not used as much as that side. That is, you know, you have the funeral processions are on the other side also, for example.
It's more like a backyard, this part.
This is more like the backyard side of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is the northern side of the mosque. You know, if you know, on a map, if you were to look at it, this is the northern facing side to it.
a nice mosque.
Absolutely. Like this side faces the Golden Horn to that side, and the Marmara Sea to that. You can see, if you look straight across there, across that gate, you can see the Golden Horn standing on one of those stairwells as it goes downhill to the other side.
I see. It's a well thought out mosque.
Yep. It's beautiful in terms of its architecture.
So the
like you can see those are like hammam glasses at the top. You see those?
Is there a hammam at the top?
No, it's not a hammam, but it's the same sort of structure. You know, it prevents condensation, or you know, the window, the actual glass getting wet in rain. It's basically an absorbent sort of glass.
Special material.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're glazed in a special way. They used to have their own glazing facilities where they would glaze glass and, you know, go ahead with their production.
It's the technology of the time, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're now going to go to the Maltese Bazaar, known as Malta Çarşı, where we had gone to get our muhlama,
the cheese.
cheese, exactly. And that was the place where the Ottomans would do a lot of their trade with the Maltese. And Maltese traders would come, you know, they'd come from Malta and they would, you know, do their activities out. Let's actually go out from here.
Why not from here?
No, I would say let's go from here and then we can walk from the other side. Yeah, because we already walked in from that side and I'd like you to see this side of it. You know, it's a beautiful place, you know, the courtyard. As you can see, a lot of families are coming here for the weekend. You know, they're bringing their children, they're bringing their relatives, and, you know, they're just hanging out here, spending a lot of time, kind of absorbing, you know, the environment. And, you know, there's a serenity in the air.
Yeah,
it's
calmness.
a bit windy, but it's calm. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a family oriented.
There's a serenity, and then, you know, you have your street food, fruits.
Different fruits.
There's a lot of snacks over here, and, you know, it's all fresh. So this is the entrance. This is the side entrance of the Maltese Bazaar. I don't know if they have anyone from Malta here left.
No one
They're actually.
They have Syrians left.
Well, they were never from Malta.
I know. I'm just saying.
But there is actually
one different culture.
One Italian dargah over here. Dargah meaning like a sort of religious get-together point. That still remains with some Italians. That's on that side street, but no Maltese left. Not that I know of, not that I've seen. See the fish, you know, from the fish market, and then the homemade honeys. You know, these are somewhere like made in the countryside. You know, homemade villages brought over here.
It's a nice place, man.
Absolutely, you can get a lot of fresh produce.
Anything you need.
And it's actually very,
it's a very multicultural place.
It is. It's very happening. It's a perfect place for food. You know,
food oriented.
If you're interested, look at these desserts. They're just beautiful. Look at those pastries, all puffed up, and, you know, just beautiful.
Look at this. It's a small shop.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's a small shop. But...
Well, so let's have the popular cocktail Fawaki.
Yeah.
It's actually really, really good.
What's inside?
They say it's better than the cocktail Fawaki in Beirut.
Really?
And Beirut is known to
That
make...
was the original cocktail Fawaki?
I don't know if it was the original one, but they make the best one that I've ever tried. And, you know, I've talked to a lot of people that are, you know, very into it. It's called Abu Abdo, Abu Abdu.
It's next to the coffee shop.
All right, let's go in. Marhaba.
Oh, nice.
حبيبي 2 كوكتيل فواكه. You can see they have all these beautiful fruits, you know, the pineapples, the bananas, everything all fresh. And it's just an incredible mix. You know, look at the way they're making it. It's incredible, like the mix, the way he's making the mix of it. Is that for So we've got our cocktail fawakis, and we completed, I would say, an arduous day of going around Fatih. You know, we went to all these different places. How did you like Yavuz Sultan Selim tomb? That view there, beautiful. Özkilis was, the food was
the guy,
excellent.
He put all his effort, his energy into it.
Excellent.
Owner, right? That's
Absolutely, absolutely. It was
what
excellent.
was his name? Hassan?
Hassan, yeah. Hassan Küçükoğlu.
Hassan Küçükoğlu, man, he's my man.
Incredible. Also from Trabzonlu kardeşler, the cheese we got was fabulous. You know, for the muhlama in the morning, that was incredible. And Fatih Mosque, the sundial, the fire pool, the columns. You know, you know, I think you really found the imperial entrance to be very interesting. You were shocked. Yeah, you were shocked.
I thought we were all brothers. We're all equal, man.
Well, yeah, it's good to see you live in a utopic world. Lovely. Great. Well, that was good, man.
That was good.
That was good. So let's see where we're gonna go next.
Let's see where it's gonna take us next.
Like maybe we'll get some better food than this, or better.
Hopefully.
Well, come on, the food was excellent. You can't say it was bad.